show and tell is a good thing to have.
I have been working on a crochet afghan, kind of on and off. It's got like a chevron pattern, so it goes up and down. So these are all patterns I got off of the DMC website. And they're all kind of galaxy celestial looking ones. This one is a kind of like shooting stars. This one is the third out of the three. So it's a moon with stars. And I kind of used DMC's their image as kind of a guideline, but then I kind of ignored like whatever colors and stitches they told you to use. Because I just thought, you know, the designs themselves were pretty. And I found this really cool fabric at Joann's. It's very kind of starry galaxy that I thought would look really great with my celestial embroideries.
It doesn't show up a whole lot on camera, but I do a shake. And so it's better some days and worse others. And so getting the tip last time about a specific pen for transferring for embroidery projects was good. But I also was working on an embroidery project with red fabric. And I was like, I wonder. And then I put the red fabric in my laser and etched out the image. So I ended up but it ended up basically burning out the color in the fabric. And so I just printed my image on with a laser instead of a printer. I had it up too high. And so I tested it and I also ripped where some of the laser stuff was. So I turned it down a bit. I have my embroidery finished. It's a wolf skull with, I love botany and I can't remember the name of the plant. Valerian, another one, and wolfsbane.
What I'm most excited about is just using different colors and how I'm doing that. I like putting together what's called variegated yarn, so it has multicolors as a part of it and solid colors. So I have leg warmers where I use this with white, and this is how it turned out. I was making items with baby blue, like soft baby blue yarn, and I wanted something to match. So, like, I haven't matched leg warmers yet, but I thought, you know, what if I did the same thing? Instead of the white, I used blue, and then I have a set that is actually matching. So again, so this is a blue version, where this is a white version that I put together.
So I decided I wanted to give sewing a shot again. We did like some bookmarks at the Makerspace a while ago. So I wanted to make some fleece socks, which are kind of comfortable. So I did that. I think I made a mistake though. I did straight stitching, which means that the stitch doesn't actually flex.
Yeah.
I bought enough material to make 2 pairs though, so I might try it again with the zigzag stitch that's recommended.
A little while ago about, oh, crochet cat couches. And I was like, sure. And I bought the pattern and I wasn't getting my ratios right. So it was turning into this monster thing instead of the size it was supposed to be. And I was like, I'll just make a fabric version. So I made myself a pattern and I made my Gen 1 couch with a hard bottom and a hard back with some foam stuff in it. And it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but the cat's in it all the time, so that's the goal. A friend of mine saw it and she's like, oh my God, I want one. So I made Gen 2 and I made it with better ratios and I made it with little feet and I used my laser table to etch out a name tag and cut it out and put it on front. So this guy doesn't have a hard back, but I had to use scrap plywood for the bottom. And that was the first cut I ever did on the laser table. So the scrap that they had has an extra logo on it because I've been doing woodworking and this big rectangle on the floor is going to be a D&D table. So I just got the box apron screwed and glued into it yesterday. It's supposed to be waiting a full 24 hours before I flip it over and router out the bottom. But this wood came from my father's place. Dad gets bored and builds things, so he got bored and built himself another sawmill. And so we planked out a cherry tree, and I planed and joinered and routed the thing and biscuited it. So this is the first time I've biscuited anything. I waited a little while after I finished the wood, so it warped a bit, which was fun. I broke a couple screws trying to get stuff to go together. And that leg over there was an antique store buy. I bought 4 of them, so I don't have to make my leg. And then I'm gonna screw some plywood onto the
There's
bottom
this program called
and finish it.
SketchUp. I'm pretty new to it, but it's amazing. I think there's only a paid version of it now that has all the best features, but you can basically simulate 2x4s, plywood, anything you want, and sort of design a structure before you go into like cutting all your boards and stuff. So there's that. This is dorky, but yeah. Finished cart.
As me and my part-time guy, he's a retired engineer. He comes in and helps does stuff with projects and whatnot. So came up with what we were approached by some Muskegon school people, and they're looking for a portable desk solution so that it's some teachers that want to do class outside in the spring, right? Let the kids take their masks off and everything and just, you know, be out in nature because everybody's cooped up in masks and crap. So coming up with a affordable portable desk that can, you know, this thing folds in on itself. The stool folds in on itself. It attaches. The stool attaches to the actual desk, and yeah. So this has been the This was the prototype that we got done this week.
All right, so this is my attempt at sculpting Hopper from Stranger Things. I did this via ZBrush, and eventually there's going to be a print on Anycubic Photon. So this is just rough sketches. I was trying to figure out how to do hair and not doing all that great. I did the beard in what's called fiber mesh. So it's like this, I guess, I don't know, procedurally generated is the term, but it just sort of simulates hair, and you can tell, you know, how weighty you want it to be, direction, that kind of stuff. But eventually I ended up just doing like tubes for the top hair instead of trying to sculpt a big thing. And then for the bottom beard, I just started sculpting it. So that's basically the final bit before printing. And that's showing like the sliced version of it on the supports. So there's that.
Aaron from Muskegon. I met Chris at the Fab Lab and recently started 3D printing with him last fall. And after we did a successful project, I bought my own printer and have that running in the background here. But, just recently finished up my first project. I've been doing just cosplay props so far.
This is pretty epic, guys.
Not sure if it'll fit on screen. Oh, thing on screen. But
I put Bernie inside the carriage from Mandalorian, and then I had a photo shoot with Bernie. We went out into the cold. You know, he's cold. He's in nature. He's enjoying himself, chilling. This is my first thing in ZBrush Core Mini that I was playing with the other week. So this one doesn't look like Jar Jar, but I swear every time I did Sculptress, it looked like Jar Jar. So I mean, I just kind of like went with the flow and just kind of like, well, this kind of looks like this, so I'll just roll with it. And next thing I know, I had this like cool little creature thing. And then just some random other stuff. I was playing with our plasma cutter, cutting some beer bottle openers. A brewery down the road in Muskegon Pigeon Hill, they want to give their Mug Club members some special cards that can be used to, pop open a beer bottle. So that's our kind of our test pieces. And